Meteorologist Jackson Chastain here with the latest edition of WeatherWise. Today we're going to talk about something that we don't necessarily get here, but if you go maybe a few states north, you might encounter it a little bit more frequently. It's called a snow squall, and it's a little bit different from a rain shower. You might think of it a little bit different from a snowstorm. You might think of it as maybe like a heavy rain shower. And basically what it is, it's intense bursts of heavy snow. It usually doesn't last very long, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And like a blizzard, it reduces visibility quite a bit, and it can have such a huge impact in terms of rapid snow accumulation, and it can occur multiple ways as well. So we're going to go over all of those things, both the formation and the impacts. And one of those ways you can get a snow squall is basically you have a cold front coming through, and it's a lot like if you have a cold front coming through and you get thunderstorm formation. The only difference here is that the air in the front, while it is a little bit warmer than that Arctic air, it's still very much cold. So when you get this air being forced up, as it does, it's going to ride up this boundary because this is more dense, this is less dense. It's going to ride up this cold air. You're going to get snow because all of the air is basically below freezing, and as a result, instead of a rain shower, you're going to end up with basically a snow shower in this case. So that's method number one right there. Method number two, that's if you kind of have a lake effect snow squall, and you might have seen the news in Buffalo. They've gotten feet of snow from lake effect snow. You can also get snow squalls in the same manner that these lake effect bands form. And basically what happens is you have cold land masses. You have air flowing out over the water, which is generally warmer, and as it flows out over the water, that air is going to warm up, and it's also going to collect moisture from that lake. So once it gets warmer, it collects moisture, it tends to rise, and you'll get these clouds forming up over the lake, and eventually those clouds, those are going to move over land, and in some cases, you can end up with heavy bands of snow, and again, you'll result in snow squalls over the land mass once it transitions from sea to land. And again, I'm going to reiterate this difference here. Snow squalls not lasting very long, very short term, 30 minutes to an hour. Snow storms can last from hours to days. So there's a huge difference there. And with snowstorms, often you do end up getting more snow just based on the fact they last so long. But here's a few tips just in case you end up in a situation like this. Obviously, avoid travel, reduce speed. Do not slam on the brakes. It's easy to speed up, but it's very difficult to slow down when you're driving on the snow. So just keep that in mind. And obviously turn on the headlights, allow extra time for travel. And then of course, the biggest thing here is to just make sure you're monitoring your local weather forecast so you don't have to put yourself in that situation in the first place. But this has been the latest edition of WeatherWise. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to post those to Facebook, to our Twitter, send us an email. But otherwise, you guys have a great one.
WeatherWise is brought to you by Four County Electric Power Association.